Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Julissa Lopez, and today I will be reading an essay that I wrote for my English class. And the topic of this essay is prevention of teenage pregnancy. Each year, more than 500,000 U.S. girls in their teens or younger become pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is an important issue for several reasons. For example, there are health risks for the baby, and the children born of teenage mothers are more likely to suffer health, social, and emotional problems than children born to older mothers. Teenage mothers are less likely to gain adequate weight during their pregnancy, leading to low birth weight. Low birth weight is associated with several infant and childhood disorders and a higher rate of infant mortality. Babies with low birth weight are more likely to have organs that are not fully developed, which can result in complications such as bleeding in their brain, respiratory distress syndrome, and intestinal problems. Many people in society do not realize the complications a teenage mother and her baby can endure. Preventing teenage pregnancy can be a challenge, but there are solutions to help reduce the causes of teenage pregnancy around the United States. Some causes of teenage pregnancy are lack of safe sex education, teenage drinking, and peer pressure. If many more people were aware of the causes of teenage pregnancy, they would be able to help provide solutions to help reduce the problem. The solutions of teenage pregnancy could also help impact and reduce other societal ills such as poverty, crime rates, and high school dropout rates. Many students are not taught methods on how to protect themselves if they were to become sexually active. Teenagers who are uneducated about sex are more likely to have an unplanned pregnancy. According to Daily Record, some teens do not fully understand the biological and emotional aspects associated with having sex. Many times, teenagers are getting wrong information from videos on the internet, friends, and movies about the process of sex. A method to help reduce the amount of teenage pregnancy in the U.S. is more sex education classes in schools. These classes can teach abstinence, contraceptive techniques, and the consequences of sex at an early age. Along with the classes in schools, parents can also be a part of educating teenagers about safe sex. Parents can give information to their teenagers about birth control options, properly using a condom, and the emotional attachment that one endures during sex. As a result, education about safe sex can help reduce the teenage pregnancy rate along with the amount of poverty that teenage mothers increase while entering adulthood. Along with teenagers being uneducated about safe sex education, teen drinking can also be a cause of unplanned teenage pregnancy. Drinking can lower the impulses of teenagers, and according to Livestrong.com, approximately 91% of pregnant teens reported that although they were drinking at the time, they did not originally plan to have sex when they conceived. While under the influence of alcohol, teens can become impaired not to think to use birth control properly or even at all during the sexual experience, resulting in unplanned pregnancy. To help prevent teenage drinking that leads to teenage pregnancy, parents should have open communication with their teenagers about the struggles with alcohol. Parents should also engage their teenagers in sports, volunteer activities, and extracurricular activities to help them stay away from alcohol. Teenagers who usually are involved in activities do not have time to engage in teenage drinking. Therefore, not only will a parent who communicates with their child help reduce teenage pregnancy, but it will help reduce the amount of teenage drinking. This will also help reduce and impact the amount of crimes that are committed by teenagers who are unlawfully drinking, thus resulting into more parents involving their children in extracurricular activities, and these teenagers can obtain scholarships of the activities they are involved in and attend college. Finally, during adolescence, many teenagers often feel pressured to make friends and be accepted. Many times, teenagers may let friends influence them to engage in sexual activity even though they lack the understanding of the consequences of sex. Many teenagers engage in sex to appear cool and sophisticated among their friends. The Kaiser Family Foundation states that more than 29% of pregnant teens reported that they felt pressured to have sex, and 33% of pregnant teens stated that they felt they were not ready for a sexual relationship, but proceeded anyways because they feared ridicule or rejection. Although there is peer pressure among teenagers all of the time, there are a few ways to help prevent a teenager to act based off peer pressure. Again, if more parents were involved in their child's life, they are able to have an influence on teenagers to associate with the more positive group than negative groups that make them feel peer pressure to have sex when they are not ready. Also, communication between a parent and a teenager is also effective to help prevent the teenager giving in to peer pressure. These things help build the mindset of a teenager to always make good choices by having guidance from their parents. Thus, this will help reduce the amount of dropout rates that are linked to teenage pregnancy, leading to more teenagers graduating high school and attending college. Ultimately, teenage pregnancy can cause major health risks for a mother and a child. Each year, more than 500,000 U.S. girls in their teens become pregnant, exposing them to suffer health, social, and emotional problems. Teenage mothers are more likely to experience low birth weight due to them not gaining enough weight during their pregnancy. Low birth weight can cause severe infant childhood disorders, as well as a higher rate of infant mortality. Babies that are born to women with low birth weight are more likely to have organs that are not yet fully developed, which can result in complications such as respiratory distress syndrome, bleeding in the brain, and intestinal problems. While teenagers engage in unprotected sex, they are more than likely unaware of the complications a young mother and a child can endure during birth. Although it may be a challenge, there are solutions to help prevent teen pregnancy around the United States. Some causes of teenage pregnancy are lack of safe sex education, teenage drinking, and peer pressure. To be able to help reduce this societal ill, one must understand the causes and help provide solutions. The solutions to teenage pregnancy can also help reduce other societal ills such as crime rates, poverty, and high school dropout rates. And that will conclude my essay. And if you all would like to comment below to evaluate the clarity of the thesis, evaluate the effectiveness of the supporting detail, and if you all learned anything new while me reading the essay, you can also comment that below. And thank you all for listening and have a good day.